Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is David Schlotthauer here in the Weather Center, keeping an eye on your weather forecast for April 30th, 2023. In this video, we are keeping an eye on that storm system for the Northeast that is bringing quite a bit of rainfall, strong winds, and some thunderstorm activity with heavy snowfall for the northern Great Lakes. And then we're going to be looking at the West because there are pattern changes coming for much of this week into early next week. Now, before I do get started, let's take a look at our Trilogy Maps promotion. I am incredibly excited to announce that I'm officially an affiliate with TrilogyMaps.com. The link will be in the description and the pinned comment below. Trilogy Maps has created the highest definition, the most customizable digital maps you can find anywhere online at a highly affordable price. These maps are so customizable due to a very unique layering system that makes it possible to create whatever map you like. Making weather maps that look incredibly professional has never been this easy before. So if you want the highest definition, the most customizable, and the most professional looking weather maps that you can make up for a very affordable price, go ahead and check out TrilogyMaps.com. And again, be sure to use my 20% off discount code by going to TrilogyMaps.com and then entering the code DAVID before finalizing your purchase. Now, with that being said, here's a look at the detailed GOES 16 True Color satellite imagery provided by TropicalTidbits.com or Levi Cowan, and we can see with what the weather pattern is currently doing across the country. We can see a pretty energetic weather system that has brought strong winds, even some severe weather earlier across portions of North Carolina and Virginia. That secondary low there, kind of a satellite low we call it, is now offshore, and it is now going to be wrapping around this main surface low that is over and going to be kind of anchoring here over Michigan and also for portions of the upper Midwest over the next few days. This is going to result quite a bit of snowfall over the northern Michigan area as well as northern Wisconsin as the backside of this rolls through. And then, of course, we got some activity to talk about over California in the next couple of days with thunderstorms and more mountain snowfall for the higher elevation. So a pretty wicked weather pattern, to say the least, that is setting up for this upcoming week. So now here's a look at the latest European model, putting this into motion on our forecast model, and let's see what this actually shows. So by late tonight into, say, tomorrow early morning, that's where our surface low is going to be. We have, again, two of them. We got one over here in Michigan that's responsible for the snow. And then we got a secondary low that is moving onshore tonight over much of New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and that's going to result for more rainfall, strong winds, and maybe some thunderstorms that are anticipated since there is a lot of baroclinic ascent with that system. And then, of course, back west, looking quiet, but it won't last for too much longer as the weather pattern changes. So let's kind of bring this forward all the way into, let's do Tuesday morning. We do got a little bit of snowfall that is anticipated over Pennsylvania, over western New York, also for Virginia. Again, this is only going to amount to maybe about an inch or less. We're not talking about significant accumulations of snow. That's because this is going to be fairly a wet snow, so really not going to stick very long. I don't think we're going to see the dry snow that you typically see during the winter months. Also, much of the snow up here is also going to be wet too. So again, if you're expecting some substantial accumulation, it's going to be hard to tell because it's going to be a very wet snow, slushy snow. It puts a lot of weights on trees. It can knock out your power. So keep that in mind. We're not talking about the dry stuff, the stuff that doesn't cause as much road problems. So this snow does cause more road problems instead. We also got more snow for the mountains of the Sierra here, part of an upper level cutoff low that a lot of us have been talking about. This is going to be for Tuesday morning, May the 2nd. We got snow, we got rain over central and northern California. You don't see that very often in early May, but it does occasionally happen from time to time. We got some showers up here also for portions of central and southern Washington and central Oregon. Not going to amount to too much, maybe about 1/10 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch at the very most. But what it's going to do, it's going to make the weather pattern interesting. It's going to be colder. It's going to also be wetter in some areas, along to go with the thunderstorms that we might see due to some instability, higher sun angle, and more land heating that is anticipated, along to go with steepening mid-level lapse rates. So this is a look at Wednesday. Let's go all the way into Thursday here. Really not much going on in the weather pattern. Just kind of hit and miss showers. A little bit of active weather anticipated, but we're not talking about anything that would make headlines. So let's take a look at now how much snowfall you might be seeing. Now, I had a few rude comments in my last couple of videos on this that it's not going to be very significant. It's not going to be any bit of a problem. I want to make this clear with you all that it is truly hard to predict where wet snow is going to fall, but it also has been quite consistent among the high resolution and global models. So unfortunately, again, I'm not trying to hype this up. There might be about 6 to maybe 12 inches of additional snow up here in the northwestern portion of Michigan. You might see maybe 2 to 3 inches of snow down here in central and southern Michigan. Again, it's that wet snow. It's that snow that might not stick very long, so just take that into consideration. Making snow measurements might be a little difficult to come by with this system. There also might be quite a bit of snowfall up here, a lake effect given Lake Superior there, so you might see as much as about 6 to 12 inches of snow. Isolated amounts there, I don't believe it. I'm not buying by 3 or 4 feet of snow, but nevertheless, there will be quite a bit of snow all the way through Wednesday and even maybe into early Thursday morning. Part of that lake effect that is going to be turned on. A little bit of snow up here in the higher elevations in West Virginia and Pennsylvania, but really otherwise, this will probably be the last snowfall for the spring season as we transition really into summertime when the pattern really typically warms up. So let's take a look here at your temperature anomalies. Again, this is going to come by with it some much colder air, coming in out of the north. So temperatures 20 to 25 degrees below average across the upper Midwest, 15 to 25 degrees below average across much of the Midwest and the deep South, including for the Northeast. Look at this. Colder weather across California. We're just done with our heat wave here where it reached 90 plus degrees yesterday and the day before and the day before that. We actually broke records. And now that's kind of gone, and we're going to see some much colder weather as trough to trough kind of sets up here across the U.S. So the below average temperatures will stay around over the Great Lakes and the eastern seaboard, also along to go with the west coast of the U.S. and the desert southwest, with warm weather in between here over the high plains and the northern plains and the deep south, where you might see temperatures at times reaching the 80s and maybe close to 90 degrees the further south you actually go. So now let's take a look at your 500 millibar height forecast here. This is showing us what the air masses are like, what they're doing, and how that will respond to your weather. So bluer colors and green colors usually correspond to below average heights, below average temperatures, usually more inclement weather, snow, rain, wind, kind of that sort of thing. While ridges, the areas in orange here, usually mean brighter weather. The weather's dry and it's bright and it's warm. So we can see with what the pattern is going to do. So by Tuesday and Wednesday, we have this trough over the eastern seaboard. We have another trough, again, just kind of hanging out along the California coast. This could sputter up some thunderstorms around the surface low, especially in the right front quadrant where we have falling heights, where you have moisture being tapped into. So watch out when thunder roars, go indoors. That's going to stay with us all the way through Thursday and Friday before that low finally moves out and large-scale ridging builds across the United States. And really, as long as we have this in place, we're not talking a lot about active weather in a significant sense. So that is going to do it with this video, folks. If you did enjoy the video, please consider sharing this with your family and friends on social media, leaving a like, and sharing this with your family and friends on social media, and also leave a comment. Let me know how you liked today's video. Hopefully I did a lot better. I do apologize if I sound high-pitched, if I sound too hyper. I'm really trying to keep that under control. I got to think of you all. So just let me know how I did in this video. Not only that, also be sure to check out trilogymaps.com. There will be a link in the description below this video. That's going to do it. Thanks for watching.